Hey everyone, I'm trying something very new right now and testing it out. I just want to see how it goes. This is extremely new to me. I didn't know how I was going to complete this live stream. I've been coming into the most random issues, and it's been extremely frustrating, to be honest, but whatever, we're here. I just wanted to get this message across anyway, so I don't have to be too particular about this. So, how's everyone going? I hope that you have very particularly been able to see how your life makes you the main character, how a lot of your experiences are a very clear reflection of where you are at in terms of your internal growth, what you still need to look at and pour love into so that it heals. And what I wanted to specifically address regarding the Rapture, which I had put in the title. This live stream had a title and everything. But anyway, I don't know. Point is, this is about the energetic climate we're in and the rapture that just happened now, that is technically happening today, right? 23rd and 24th of September is when Jesus was rumored to return. And I wanted to bring to attention in this live stream what exactly that means, what I believe it means across a large collective of people, including the bunch who don't necessarily believe in Jesus or in Christianity, who may even not have a specific religion, but who are on some level seeking. And more particularly, as I mentioned in previous lives, seeking to place their shame, seeking to be free or unburdened from their shame, their guilt, from some perceived less than point that you believe you're operating at that landed you up in this position of victimhood. Wherever in your life victimhood still persists is what the rapture, the rapture was for, and is what technically Jesus Christ is for, and is such a common theme in the general wound and trauma of today's society that is why I believe this rapture and the energetic healing that comes from it, that will come from it over time and through the collective awakening, through everything happening right now. It's happening for everyone. And so it's not specific to any one person. We're all, I believe, processing very similar wounds. They will come from a very similar hurt place. And whatever benevolent force that put us here knows this and is trying to help us. And that is what I believe this time is about. That's what I believe the rapture was about. It felt like there is, and I mentioned this as well in previous readings, there is a collective mindset shift about Jesus Christ, the figure, the person, what he is said to have done for us collectively, and what that represents in our psyche as people processing him right now. I'm trying to find the room that all of the doors lead to. And in my experience of sitting with that, I realized that, as I mentioned earlier in this reading, the greatness about our guy, Jesus Christ, is the fact that he saves us from that shame that's in all of us, that has been kind of beat into us by the wrongdoings of the system, by the witnessing and experience of oppression, the bloodline damage that has done to so many of us. The result of that, and the living experience of it today builds up so much shame and guilt within any individual who is alive. Whether or not you have a phone or are tapped into the global issues that are happening right now, I think everybody on some level feels I'm going to call it now the separation from God. And I believe it shows up in the form of feelings of victimhood, shame, guilt, depression, just the general separation from the wholeness of life, the value of it, the inherent value of it, the divine conscious connection with everything, not just with every living thing, everything, all of life. That has been the part of us, no matter who you are, that has been attacked by the dark forces, the devil, Satan, whatever. This rapture that happened, that is happening, that I believe isn't like over just a period of days. It feels like it's opened the door into a new room, basically. And we're all like spilling into the room one by one. This is the work of tending to that place within us, all of us, that is that tender place that only we can deal with, the same place in which it's stored within us that no one can save you, which is technically true because at the end of the day, it's you needing to choose to be saved, so to speak. You just have to like intend on it. That intention, the place where that intention sits, is being tended to in the only way it can be tended to, because like I said, there's actually a quote that I have saved on my phone that has to do with what I'm talking about, by Aldous Huxley. In spite of language, in spite of intelligence and intuition and sympathy, one can never really communicate anything to anybody. The essential substance of every thought and feeling remains incommunicable, locked up in the impenetrable strong room of the individual soul and body. Our life is a sentence of perpetual solitary confinement. That sentence, locked up in the impenetrable strong room of the individual soul and body, in that room is that wound passing out everywhere. Now is the time, through this rapture, through just even the collective acknowledgement of it, just to emphasize how powerful our attention and consciousness is, through just that collective acknowledgement of the rapture and of Jesus Christ and etc. That spot within us, that room, is being cleaned up. And it can only be cleaned up, like I say, like it needs to be emphasized. It can only be cleaned up by God because of how private that place is. Yeah. Our life is a sentence of perpetual solitary confinement. And this is not to be something that it's not supposed to sound depressing. It's supposed to sound thrilling once you pair that with the knowing that within that confinement, within that solitary confinement, is a you that is a exact reflection of God, that is directly connected to the sense of wholeness that we came here to experience, that is being unlocked within each of us, with each of these energetic waves. It is so powerful, again, just to reference what I'd mentioned a few sentences ago, that there is a collective acknowledgement of this huge spiritual occurrence, even if it was funny and the lot of the collective were making jokes about it. And I keep saying it because it's so important, and it feels largely and understandably underestimated how powerful just looking at something is. Just looking, no judgment, just taking something in. That is an energy exchange that causes a ripple effect across the collective energetic field, that has done so with this rapture. Donald Trump also apparently said yesterday that every country I suppose, besides the United States, is going to hell. Interesting thing to say on Rapture Day. You know what I mean? These actors. Anyway, the main point is, and I don't know if I opened it with this live stream or not, but because of that work that's happening, how tender it is, how solitary and isolated caring for that wound is, I feel that is it adds to the foundation of support as to why things are becoming more telepathic. Your intuition is very important and very powerful right now. Synchronicities are shooting through the roof. I think that the thinness of the veil as well in general, the reason all of that is happening is because of this work. And hopefully you remember, firstly, what a main character you are in your life, what you need to be. You need to be the main character. You need to love yourself. You need to put yourself first, prioritize yourself. There's a thin line between that and individuality that you will know if you just follow your gut. But you have to prioritize yourself. Seek out the mission of loving yourself as you would your own friend. And then from that place, look out for the signs. Again, I feel those signs are necessary because, like I've said, with God tending to our private rooms, there is a very deep acknowledgement and validation of the fact that you've been through some shit, okay? And reasonably so, you are wounded, you are tired, you are probably untrusting over your reality. You need as many glimmers, signs of it's okay, I'm here, da-da-da-da. You know, we all need that collectively right now. We all need it. And so meet your reality halfway by taking it. When it's given to you, take it. You know, when the synchronicities are there, reprogram your thoughts to understand that that is communication with your reality. I've been receiving really strange communication with my reality. That has to do with the pause that I just had just now, where my will is fully existing. And I suppose in the story of my personal life, it's never felt so strong. I think also with maturity and everything, I feel old. So I'm feeling that developed prefrontal lobe and how it's influencing my actual will to do things. It feels like I'm reaching a apex culmination point where you're so close, you know? I think we're all on that somehow right now, and how that closeness creates that rubber band effect. That was mentioned in one of Queen Cup Tarot's readings. She speaks of the science phenomenon of pulling back an elastic band, and the more you pull back, the more potential is held in the snapping of that, and how naturally, in order for it to snap, you have to keep pulling, right? So it feels like that's what's happening in my life right now. My will is existing. I'm trying to pull, push, grow, expand, you know, exert more, become more, but with every single expansion, even if for me, and I think it's just because I'm feeling really tired, even if I expand just a little bit, I feel a pushback that makes me go, oh no, like that Emma Roberts gif, like, and that's how I've been feeling a lot lately. Like a big brat, you know, like a big baby, and I just need a hug. And that's also something that is part of what feels to be the themes for the coming years with the victimization, the lots of, if I remember correctly, we have lots of Aries transits, tropical Aries transits that are coming for us in March of next year. And Aries the sign of empowerment. You know what I mean? Will. Love y'all. Aries placements. You guys are so special. Anyway, and you'll be the main characters. I think we have a lot to learn from you right now. And I think that what I just mentioned, the experience of that and what I feel is happening for a lot of us, slumped shoulders, victimhood, I suppose, and I'm still trying to understand this. So if you picture the position of feeling that way, feeling victimhood, and maybe try to take it out of your body and hold it as an emotion, knowing, because I'm sure we're all aware by now that who we really are is that place of bliss and stillness and observation within us. So if we take that and try to separate ourselves from that thing, which is difficult if you're sensitive, but it can be compartmentalized. It's just complicated. But anyway, you do that, you look at it, and then you give it to Jesus Christ, or give it to your rituals, your spiritual rituals, or give it to your ancestors, your God, whoever supports you in that private room. Give it to them and like sulk or whatever towards them, right? And then imagine, or because it wouldn't be imagination, it's right by where your intuition is. Anyway, feel or lean into what you think that figure or that supporting spiritual structure in your private room, imagine, lean into what you think that figure would respond back. Because my God, my Jesus, my ancestors, those I believe in, because they're so kind to me, loving, forgiving, patient, I imagine their response to me leaning in and going, why is everything so unfair? Why? That's literally how I feel. It's so funny to me, and like, but it's genuinely how I feel. Anyway, I imagine me doing that, and then that figure of support, God, Jesus, my ancestors, responding back to say, yeah, we totally get you. You know, it must be hurting. We feel that. We're with you, right? We can feel in your heart how sore it is. Oh, and have that respond be sincere, like it's okay. Knowing as well, my inner parent, my energies, whatever, knows as well that if there's nothing you can do about the issue that you're facing now, if there's nothing you can do to change it, then it is what it is. You have to accept it. And then I kind of move through that image in my mind and try to make it real, try to imagine in my mind, they're literally saying that to me right now. That is the practice of my reality and how I ground and heal myself. It's very dramatic, very interactive, very escapist sort of, because it's very much in my imagination, in my body, in my feeling. But that is what helps me. That's what's been grounding me. And that's actually the first time I'm speaking on it, interestingly enough. I have never, ever mentioned out loud how it is that I keep myself during this time. And I've actually found as well that I don't feel like I have anything. So saying that just now on this live stream is very monumental for me. And I also felt into the heads up that again shouldn't be feared, but should be understood that because of how intense times are that we're in, you have to accept the side of the experience that will reflect that things aren't going to get easier. This is something I actually wanted to speak about in the 2026 predictions reading that I plan on doing, but I'm still sitting on everything. As the spectrum of experience and feeling and being is expanding, we are also moving up and down the spectrum. People who are normally here are going this side, people there going this side, people in the middle are splitting up. There's like lots of shifting and moving going on. From that understanding, I've been able to feel more grounded in the acceptance that things aren't, even if things aren't okay, I will be okay. And what's happening really is, I don't know if there's ever been a shift in time that has felt so like bigger than, and I think it's possibly especially alarming that not enough people realize that. I think we're so distracted and stressed and whatever that we are not enough. Well, we're going to be forced pretty soon. I think over time it's going to keep happening, the awakening. But enough of us need to be looking and realizing how crazy everything is right now. And through that, through the acknowledgement that there's something unfolding here that is so much bigger than what you can even understand, through that, surrender. Not in victimhood. And not in hopelessness. None of that. In an acceptance more than anything. I feel like I'm rambling very much off now. I think I've said everything that I needed to say. And I specifically intended on this being just a channeling, not a reading, not any cards, no card pulls. I feel like I feel a little bit far from the card pulling aspect for the collective right now because of how intense everything is energetically and how unhelpful it is to do the act of tarot reading and pulling cards and trying to see into other people's futures when it is that it feels the entire point of this phase we're in is for you to not know. It feels very intentionally hidden. All of these details that are hidden from us feels totally on purpose. And the pressure that we're feeling as well. Please keep it on the volume a bit, baby. The pressure that we're feeling as well on our energetic bodies that shows up in the form of periods of, in extreme cases, psychosis, depression, mental health waves and bouts. That's, I believe, all very, it's a direct result of the spiritual work that we are doing right now and the spiritual work we are under, that we're breaking free from as well. Lots of shifts. Yeah. It feels too chaotic to try to do anything else but to be in the moment, be present, tap into yourself. If you have cards on a personal level, you can pull cards for your own self, but I feel very amateur and like I'm peeking into something that I really shouldn't be looking at when I read cards for other people. I'm getting like the sense of an instruction from everybody's higher self, from whatever spirits that be, to like stay focused on your own shit. You have everything you need. We've given you all of your modules. You've attended all of the lectures. You've read everything. Trust yourself now. And, finish the paper. Definitely spiritual exam season. Love to us all. There really is nothing much for us to do but to stay present, honest with yourself, depending on what level you're at and how mastered you are at all of this balance, manifestation and shit. Focus on your breath, all of that. It's been really hard for me. And I've made reading upon reading regarding staying strict to your rituals. And I guess I knew I needed to say that out loud because some part of me knew what a struggle it would be to actually do it. Because when I was making those readings, I was like, oh, well, duh, spirituality, it's everything. It relieves me. But when things are so exhausting, when you're so tired and when you feel so worn down that you don't that you lack parts of hope, it's very difficult to keep up with your rituals. It's difficult to do anything. I'm sure we all know. So anyway, through that as well, through those potential waves, forgive yourself and continue to hold faith that the things that you want are closer than you think. This takes a lot more energetic work than can be described. It takes a lot more patience and surrender than can be worded. There's only so much. Now we actually have to do it. And it's so hard. Anyway, all my love, and I will see you in the next live stream.